You know why you struggle with being seen, heard, and valued? Is because you were never, or likely, seen, heard, and valued as a kid. There are wounds that you carry around deep within inside of yourself that disallow you to be able to do what you want to do as an adult. And none of us took classes, courses that taught us that we often have what's called that wounded child, right? Here I am in my 50s, and I am literally just spending so much time understanding how deeply impacted I was from my childhood and how that has affected me now. Now, I'm not saying that I still live that life. I've gone through so much therapy, coaching, reading, and this is the reason why I'm so attracted to the work of helping you understand it for yourself. I've invested so much time and will continue until I leave this earth on this seen, heard, and valued. Because here's the thing, a lot of you are upset and frustrated that you don't believe you're being seen, heard, and valued, but often you are sabotaging yourself from being seen, heard, and valued. You recoil and move away from situations that will allow you to be seen, heard, and valued because you've been hurt. You've been triggered. Someone looks at you the wrong way. Someone says something to you the wrong way. And you're just completely 100% removing yourself from the situation. Or you show up differently, and sometimes for right reason. Maybe you do need to put some boundaries around the particular situation, but you're going into it with the wrong strategy. And often the seen, heard, valued equation, it all starts with you. It does not, for most part, have anything to do with what's going on the outside. It has everything to do with how you see, hear, and value your own self. If you don't see, hear, and value yourself in a positive way, how are you going to allow other people to see, hear, and value you? And I'm a prime example of this. I would go into situations. I am what you would call the most open, laugh, smile, do all the kinds of things, let people see me. But what you didn't know is that I would be triggered. If someone crossed a line, or if I felt they were doing something that was being negative to other people, my inner temperature regulator was like, get the heck out, right? Flee. I had to remove myself from the situation. And I did it with this got under the auspices, making it seem like I was justified by moving away from the situation. And if you looked at it from the outside looking in, you might say, and sure, you're right. Get the heck out. But I was the one who wasn't brave and courageous enough to walk through the situation, right? Because I felt like this wasn't something that would serve me, which in that particular time period, it may not. But what I didn't do was allow myself to see that there was a pattern going on in my life. It actually stopped me from success. I can look back and I can see the many times where I would remove myself from a situation, an opportunity that was standing in front of me. But because of my own internal trauma, because of my inability to be able to walk through the situation, I stopped myself from being seen, heard, and valued. Can you relate to this? I can think of times at work where there were projects that I got the opportunity to be on. And because someone looked at me a certain way or someone did something to me, I took it so personal. Even though I said I wasn't taking it personal, I know myself, I was. There were times when I would be moving forward in situations that allowed myself to be seen, heard, and valued. But because of my trauma and the threads of my past, I would do things to self sabotage myself, right? I would find myself getting sick, or I would find myself paying attention to things I shouldn't be paying attention to, doing things I know aren't right. Yet there was this internal belief without an examination. It was an internal belief that I wasn't allowed to be seen, heard, and valued. So, this is the work of all of us to really understand, is it the fault of your boss? Is it the fault of your company? Is it the fault of racism or culture issues? Is it the fault of whatever to blame for you not being seen, heard, and valued? Is it the policies and procedures that are on your job, right? Or is it some sort of what you would call microaggressions or passive aggressive comments that are being said? These are the kinds of things you have to examine for yourself to see is what is the root of me not being seen, heard, and valued, which is why we develop quizzes. This why am I not getting promoted quiz, which will likely be another name here soon, but you can see it on our site, risewithdiana.com. You'll see that the majority of those questions have to do with you, that you are the one responsible to be seen, to be heard, to be valued, to speak up for yourself, to advocate for yourself, to understand who you are, and to present yourself the way you know you should be presented. And it really has a lot less to do with the factors you think are important, right? Staying late, doing all these things to, like appease a boss or to, do the extra things. Where in reality, it has a lot to do with how you show up with you. That's the reason why behind the scenes practices are critical. It is critical that you really spend time understanding the core elements of how you see yourself, of how you hear your voice. Do you like your voice? Do you feel you speak with authority? Do you value what you have to say? Do you personally value what you have to say? Or do you excuse it away? Or I'm just kidding? Or do you understand the power of the words that you speak? This is the work of the Rise Advocates movement. This is the work of the Rise with Diana consultancy. We are not playing when it comes to you being seen, heard, and valued, because we know it all starts within. In here is your vocation. In here, in here is where you have to see, hear, and value yourself. This is the work. Are you picking up what we are laying down? Right? So what we want you to do is we want you to come into the inside of our work. We want you to join our community. We want you to hear what we are saying, sharing with you on a weekly basis, because when you want to reprogram yourself to see, hear, and value yourself, this is an everyday practice. There's no days off. You have to do this work just like you brush your teeth, just like you drive your car, just like you've learned that you can't live without your phone. You cannot live without seeing, hearing, and valuing yourself in an intentional manner every single day. If you want more of this, if you like what you're hearing here, then you'll want to click the link and get onto our weekly content subscription, which is going to allow you to feel this for yourself. If this is something you want, don't hesitate. It's free. I mean, if you want it, right? Because most of us don't need anything free. There's a lot of free stuff out there. If it's not hitting you, if you're not picking this up, you're not valuing it, keep it stepping. But for those of you who understand that this is the real, let's get connected. Can't wait to see you on the inside.